Hello and welcome, Echoes, to Empyrean Wilds, a cipher system-based TTRPG. I'm Evie, your disaster GM. Pronouns are she, they, or any. I don't really care. And let's go ahead and introduce our wonderful, if disastrous, crew, starting with Amanda today.
Oh, hello everyone. My name is Amanda, aka Panda Cabra. I use she, her pronouns, and today I will be playing Varen Lek, the weird adept who dances with dark matter and siphons power. I'm going to hand it over to Ash now, unless you're not ready.
Hello, I'm Ash. I'm gonna be I use any pronouns, and I'm gonna be playing Balvin's Forge, who's an appealing speaker that rises from the depths and shepherd spirits, who uses she/her pronouns at this moment. Alina, go.
Hello, hello. I am Alina. My pronouns are they, them, and I will be playing Kale today, who's also they, them. They are an empathic explorer who helps their friends and has the soul of a dragon. So, pass it back over to our DM.
Thank you. And I need to remember to correct the commands for your name, Ash. So if you could please remind me later, that would be appreciated. Um, but yes, so Empyrean Wilds. This runs every other Sunday, schedules allowing, on 3 p.m. Eastern to 12 p.m. Pacific as starting time. I don't have my announcements actually in front of me. I forgot to pull them up. We do miss you, Matt. Happy Father's Day to those who celebrate, I guess. Um,
Also, happy Indigenous Peoples Day
Happy
and
Indigenous Peoples
Solstice.
Day!
Everything fell today. It's just
Yeah,
all of the events
and
today.
Letha, Solstice, like all the good things, and then also Father's Day. But yes, so happy Indigenous Peoples Day. Happy all of the things. Happy belated Juneteenth, which was Friday. It is that weekend. It's all the things. All the things are happening. But yes, so we do, as schedules allow, run every other week. So go ahead and follow if you are watching on Twitch. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube because we do dual stream. So that you can be notified when this or any of our other games, because we do have other games, happen to go live. Um, Sorry, I've got a cough drop in my mouth. Uh,
It's funny. Speaking of other games, because it's this particular three of us today, I was like, is this Fairy Tale? Is this Empyrean? I don't remember. And then I was like, you have a wig on your head. You are probably playing Empyrean.
yeah, you don't really wear a wig for Sev slash
No.
Brack. I mean, it's just like, yeah. Um, but yeah, so this is Empyrean Wilds. It's a fantasy adventure game. We are still currently raising money for World Central Kitchen. So if you would like to donate to the cause, the link will be in chat or in the description, depending on where you happen to be watching. It is in chat for both and will be added to the description if you are watching this at a later date. Beyond that, let's go ahead and roll into focusing on today's session. When last we left off, or content warning. I can do content warning. I know what I'm doing. I'm so good at streaming. I'm so good at streaming. I'm sorry, guys. I went to bed at like 5 a.m. Um,
Oh no,
yeah,
that's too
Hey, same
early,
here.
late, both.
yeah, yeah. I'm so good at this. I'm so good at this. Wait, the archives would like to remind you that this is an adult content rated game with depictions of violence and gore, possible mentions of loss or trauma, and/or similar content. We do our best not to cross each other's lines, but for those watching, you have been warned. Um, yeah, my brain is soup. My brain is soup. Um, Last time, you guys have found T'Pol Pilko, the anthropologist researcher that happens to be a collector of historical artifacts, magical in nature, but supposedly others as well. And through a variety of convincing and demonstrations of ability, you have managed to get him to be essentially an ally and assistance to you, providing insight to information that you have shared, trying to help you connect information together to get a bigger picture, as well as potentially at least acquiring at least a couple of the artifacts that might be able to help you along your way. After your conversation the previous evening, post the encounter with the shadow box, and a little bit of brainstorming to get some information together and some of those little threads starting to tie into a web, he was just like, all of this is a lot. I'm going to go drink the trauma of realizing all of this into a little corner in the back of my mind, and we will deal with this in the morning. And so you guys were able to have a wonderful dinner. He put you up in his home, which the rooms are well appointed. They seem to be a mixture of modern type of fashion that you have seen in a couple of the houses in Polyerna, as well as some of those historical artifact type decoration that you had been used to seeing in some of the more affluent houses in Icenbridge and leading up to his collection of artifacts. But you may take your rest if you would like to do so, and make whatever recoveries you wish to do.
A full long rest. That never happens. Look at us.
Yeah.
Right. I am rested.
All right. That does also mean that your ciphers are back for the day, as you happen to
Ooh.
need them. Um,
Means everybody also gets their free asset from me.
That's
mhm.
right. It's a new day.
It is indeed a new day. Breakfast is provided. It is kind of, I wouldn't say buffet style, but there seems to be more of the pick and choose what you want from the couple of servants that are in the kitchen, over it being served at the table the same way that dinner had been.
Right, right.
And it seems to be that they are used to, at least to Paul, grabbing whatever he feels like and wandering off to do something.
Probably just glad he remembered to eat instead of just going straight to studying.
Hmm.
Did DePaul's daughter come back last night? No.
She will not be returning until he sends for her.
Oh, interesting.
Honestly, he still doesn't want her around you guys.
Somewhat dangerous?
That's fair.
You've known him for less than a day, proven that you have abilities that are very dangerous, and that you are on a mission that attracts danger. He doesn't want her anywhere near you guys.
Fair.
And if questioned, he
That's
will tell
very
you that
fair.
directly and bluntly.
Maybe that's a good place to jump in then, because Kale would have inquired about her and just been like, I understand your caution, but uh, if it's true that she's been drawn to this dragon statue that you have, then she may need to speak with me at some point in her life. And I'm here now.
I understand your interest and your expressed concern to the connection. However, at her current age, I would say perhaps it best that she wait until she holds the maturity of whatever might be needed for becoming one such as yourself.
Right. It seems unlikely that she might wake this early, but it is not a comfortable process if you don't know what's going on. I just don't want it to come upon her unprepared.
I may offer that we take some time together today, that you prepare myself if it were to come upon her suddenly. But, as stated, uh, she is the most important and, in some case, only important thing in my life,
Of
and
course.
I will die before I put her at risk here.
Of course. Also, there's no guarantee that her being drawn to it as a pretty object is anything but. It
Precisely.
may very well be that someone else comes who is looking for this object, and it might be best then to tell you what to tell them, I suppose, if I'm not available.
As its current keeper, perhaps. But if all of you have had your fill, oh my goodness, a mill! Hi! Over on YouTube, we have an old friend of mine as a viewer. How you
Oh,
doing?
cool.
Guten Tag. I think it might be morning there. I have no idea what time it is over where you are, honestly speaking. Guten Morgen, Guten Tag, Guten Abend. No idea. Whatever time of day it happens to be. Good day to you.
I couldn't figure out time zones this morning, even just on our continent.
Yeah. But yes, happy to see you around, man. Uh, but he will raise his cup of coffee to you and say, um, if all of you have had your fill, there will be no food in the research areas.
Hale has had 3 cups of kava and no food.
Sounds right.
3 coffees, no lunch.
Yes, correct.
Val has eaten enough for the both of us.
Yeah.
And I'm somewhere in the middle. I am caffeinated and sated.
Caffeine is good. Caffeine is good. I probably need my own caffeine.
Fair.
I had to finish Sage's Dr. Pepper to be able to be awake for this.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Yep, that's how it is.
Yep.
That's how it is.
Yep.
But yes, so as you guys with drinks allowed, though he will indicate as you head down yet another hallway that while drinks are allowed, there will be specific areas that you have to leave them in to keep them away from certain delicate artifacts. But it's kind of a turnoff away from the hall that led to his collection of artifacts on display, his kind of museum area that you had previously been in. And it leads down into what seems to be a dugout basement, or previously had been a cellar, perhaps, that is wide with mostly some post columns to help support the ceiling, and is filled with what seems to be partially cleaned artifacts of a variety of nature. Some of them look like they might be magical artifacts, some of them look like they're just historical items of some kind, and an entire wall, possibly like 70 to 100 feet, just filled with shelving that is a mixture of tools and books and cases. He palms one of the strange sections of wall that you have become familiar with, and lights flicker on overhead, and it's just kind of this consistent warm light instead of being type of tubing or anything else that might be in some of the other older areas. Um, it took a good 2 years to acquire enough for this room on its own, but without windows, it's somewhat necessary. Um, and as such, do not throw things, please.
False. This is very impressive.
It's almost more of a pride than the collection upstairs.
It should be. It doesn't look like the same mechanism they use in Deep View, but the quality of light is very even.
Yes, found that section there, and if you look really carefully, in fact, go ahead and roll perception.
Yeah, let's do that. I am trained in this, and I rolled a 15.
Definitely good enough. You can almost see past the consistent warm light to where some of the seams are from sections that had to be brought in from different areas. I believe that section was found somewhere in the West Islanders region towards the mountains. A section over there was actually that entire half was found in a couple of different digs in Carthok. And then over here, I think that I found. I don't even remember where I found that one.
Hmm,
But they had to be
fascinating.
carefully fitted together, and they only really started working, oh, 4 years ago.
That sounds about right, yes. Fascinating. Have you
But
been able to figure out how the mechanism works?
to an extent, it is connected to a variety of wires for whatever reason that connect into, of all things, a couple of strange crystals, and
Ah,
then
yes.
those lead down through the wall to the panel here that is made of some substance that I have not been able to figure out yet. But it responds to living touch. We've tried a couple of things with like gloves on and with a variety of other things, and it generally seems to be responsive to life. Like a plant has worked, but leather on its own has not. Leather covering a hand has, uh, but a stick has not. Um, it's a strange thing. So it does, as far as I can tell,
Hmm,
responds to some sort of harmony with living matter that
that seems to
activates
track
a
with what
current
I've
of some
seen.
kind. Yes.
Yes, yes. There was an aqueduct in Isenbridge that we were able to reactivate. It was very similar. It had mechanical components to it, but then there was crystals focusing the magic, and we required a root, like a actual plant root, to bridge the gap where the mechanism had failed. But we were able to get it running again. So it seems to have some living components.
Yes. Strange indeed, but yes. Um, how to reproduce it, I am still not exactly certain, as I'm not sure what some of the materials are. They have been cleaned and scavenged from a variety of sites, as you can tell.
I imagine we'll be able to rediscover some of them as time goes on. Clearly, this architecture and technology was widespread in its day, and imagine it will be again.
Oh, I'm sure that there's research or manuals or something of some sort that is hidden somewhere. It just needs to be found. And he like rubs his fingers together like thoughtfully because this is exactly the type of thing that he would be searching for.
Yeah. Right. Well, is there anything that you wanted our input on or that you were going to
Well,
show to us?
you were going to look at some of the older pieces and artifacts that hadn't been fully cleaned yet, and your friend here indicated potentially, and he takes a deep breath here, attempting to summon spirits of those from the time that these artifacts came from, as well as being capable of reading some of the older scripts, which to an extent I can read some of them, though my specialization is not exactly a wide dialect. When you look at language over time, it changes drastically from some decades to the next, and historical writings does have a tendency to be affected from that.
Well, we have a potion. Well, we have the recipe for a potion that may help you with that considerably.
Interesting. I believe that you had expressed the interest in perhaps leaving the recipe or leaving a copy of the recipe for my research in trade for something. Though not for the dragon statue, of course.
No, no. Kale looks to ball at that because that's, or is it Varen who's got the potion making stuff
Varen.
currently? It's
Very
I
Varen.
have it currently.
Yes.
Mhm.
Varen is essentially the one that is the heir to Sybil's potion making
Yes,
abilities.
right, right.
So, do try not to break anything, if possible, or throw things, as I don't quite know how delicate to impact the above lighting is. Uh, but I am here at your disposal to explain things as you find them fit, but other than reading through to some information that memory sparked last night, I don't exactly know how to direct you.
Why don't we start at the greatest mystery and work our way up from there?
The greatest mystery is honestly uh, whatever this danger beyond the mountains is, which would have to be, as far as I'm aware, broken down into smaller discoveries.
Yes, we're
sort of.
not entirely sure what it is yet. We'll have suspicions.
And so he just gestures to the room at large to see what it was that you wanted to start with first.
I'm gonna take a look around,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of want to do a spiritual vibe check to see if I can sense any spiritual bullshit going on.
Okay, go ahead.
We
Make a
got any
roll.
ghosts?
Essentially
Any
looking for
ghosties?
which would be the best thing to try to use as a vessel.
Okay, this is going to be a high difficulty roll. You haven't used these abilities a lot. You really only started using them when visiting Varen's family, and in particular, immediately after the fight. Um,
Yeah.
so it is fairly high difficulty. But you can roll, and the roll will determine how easy it is to find something, essentially.
Uh, that is a 9
Okay.
plus. It really doesn't matter plus how many things, but technically 2,
Okay.
I think.
And those two things that you are using to assist your roll?
It oh sorry, 1. For my brain went to being trained in magic, but that's Senor Fluffington,
Oh, right.
not
Do you want
Val.
an aid with that? Because I can give you advice from a friend.
Oh, sure.
I will give you that, and then you get that +1 again.
And then
And
I
Kale's
have
advice is just like, just open your heart and see what is calling out to it.
a free level of effort
Okay.
from yeah.
Okay. Um, and so the free level of effort, is that an ability or is that just that you have that much edge?
I have that much edge.
Okay.
Sorry.
So for this and the other games, because I have noticed that tendency, and for my own perception as a GM, can you indicate when it's that you are using your edge to not have effort
Oh,
cost?
yeah.
Because free level of effort from like an ability might mean that you don't personally put in that effort
Hmm.
versus applying the effort yourself.
Yeah, Captain.
Yeah, so it's just basically
I
how
have
you would find
three.
out
I have
information.
4 edge
Yeah, yeah.
in
So
intellect.
you are applying effort, and it just doesn't cost you anything.
Mm.
But yeah, so looking around, there's a lot of old stuff. You're not sure what specifically with that type of role would be most useful for attempting to call forth a spirit connected to it. Um, but you do know that you had wanted to research anything regarding that cult around the would be god of creation, that he had indicated some of his materials might be related to.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
and if you are trying to find out about that specifically, attempting to call forth a spirit from an item, book, or other material related to it would probably net you the best result. If you are trying to find out about, say, the forest, you would want to find out what items he has gotten specifically from the forest. But that would be calling forth a spirit related to that item, so you would be limited to whatever that specific spirit knows about. Um,
Yeah.
so it's
I'll go
more
for.
you've got ideas, but not a specific object.
I'll try the cult. I think the cult is is the more solidified path at the moment.
All right. I believe that the collection from Venia at that particular site and this other site, and he's mumbling to himself that you've gotten kind of used to him thinking out loud, but not loud enough to hold a conversation with. Um, as he starts going through one of the very large numbers of sections of materials on that wall. Um, so I believe that it was this history, and he pulls down a fairly well kept book and hands it to you. Uh, this is Second Age Tritinian, which I believe you said that you spoke. Um, hopefully, you can also read it. But this is, I believe, where most of the writings surrounding that particular cult was. And I'll have to search for a moment to see if I can find any of the items that were found in any of the sites relating to them. But here, and he hands you just an old but well made and well maintained book.
Hmm.
The other two of you?
I'll follow my own advice and vibe check the room and just see what catches my interest.
Okay. Go ahead and
I
give me a roll.
am trained in identifying, if that helps.
Okay.
That is an 11.
Okay.
And then one step down from trained.
Yeah. So as you look around, there's any number of things there. Um, you don't see, and you're just basically what stands out, not looking for
Yeah,
something specific. Okay.
that's just sort of like what catches my interest. If something things that would catch Kale's interest are like if it's obviously plant based or has dragons on it, or if it's like particularly like the artifacts of the floating isles where Kinder was from.
You are more likely to find artifacts of the floating isles than anything like plant like down here
Yeah,
because there's no sunlight to feed it. As well as the fact that his only dragon item is already on display
upstairs.
upstairs.
Yeah,
Um, so, with an 11, yeah, I'll say that you're able to find a couple of seemingly swirling, curled artifact pieces, because remember, this isn't like
Oh yeah, yeah.
this is his I'm still cleaning it, and it does not rate as dangerous enough to need to be kept in a magical case area. So there's it barely catches your attention because you are perceptive and you are trained in perception. That like one of the tables that seems to be a like cleanup process is, as far as you can tell, a section of wall that is similar to the
Hmm,
designs that you vaguely remember from that dream.
interesting. Because I also lived there for a while in another life.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
but
those
it's a
memories are
long
still
time
a
ago.
little hazy. It's
Yeah,
a long time ago, and the clearest memory that you have is actually from that old dream where you had
yeah,
been in that life.
cool. Yeah, I think that's probably why it catches Kale's eye, though. Then they'll wander over and kind of look really closely at it and then be like, "Can I touch this?"
Are your hands clean?
Just a moment. And Kale will turn around and then exhale steam onto their hands. Uh,
He's
and be like,
like
"Yes,
he's like on a step stool in the middle of looking through something and just watches the process in fascination. I'm not going to ask. Yes, just be mindful of the fact that skin oils can break things down faster. So, uh,
not sure that I produce any."
fascinating. And then he goes back to searching.
Yeah, I'll touch the wall and just see if it brings up any memories for me. I'm guessing no, but it is an interesting thing.
Make a luck roll.
Ooh, luck. 7.
7. All right. Nothing in particular. It is familiar in that way of like walking into a house or room that you spent a lot of time in as a kid, but don't have any solid memories from.
Yeah,
Um, it's still got like calcified things on it and is very broken. It's like an entire section that looks like he will probably prepare it to put it up as a section of wall somewhere in the house, the same way that he did with the other reliefs. This one is not a completed section though, and it looks predominantly decorative. Um, it doesn't depict a story the same way that the reliefs do, but
cool.
it is there, and you're fairly certain that it's from the Fallen Sky Kingdom.
Yeah, so I'll leave a hand on it for a minute and then just sort of shake my head and go, I think I lived in this city once. Oh well, it's not coming to me now.
Life gets stranger every day. Uh, Amanda, what is Varen doing?
I want to know if I can use my scan ability to see if I can like kind of use that as a vibe check to see if there's anything that stands out to me.
I love me some adepts. Yes, you can use your scan ability.
Sweets.
It is a fairly large room, so you will probably have to walk around and use it more than
Hmm.
once, simply because it is large enough to where it exceeds your 50-foot range.
Yeah.
This probably takes up the majority of at least a wing of his
Oh
house.
wow,
Oh
that's
wow.
a heck of a
Okay.
That
facility.
Yeah, that's why I said one, like just one wall is
Hmm.
like 70 to 100 feet of just shelving and books and materials.
That makes sense. I feel like Varen's just kind of stopping and doing her vibe check and then moving on, doing the vibe check.
Okay. As you walk through the first section of the room, you mostly find what seems to be old, like old knickknacks and like mundane pieces of old life. that are in the process of being cleaned and researched. What one of the tables is a almost puzzle of what seems to be a former window. You're not sure what it is made of, but neither is he. Um, but you get closer to the wall and you find your scan ability responding that it's a number of research and historical books. Several of the cases seem to be tools that are used for the excavation and cleaning of items, as well as one of the cases being a collection of older tools that are artifacts themselves from historical ages. Um, it takes you probably until your third scan before you find something that sparks as you can't get a reading on it. Like your ability comes back as it can't tell you.
Interesting. What is this blind spot that I'm seeing or that I'm sensing?
Narrowing in on it, you find yourself looking at what seems to be an old pedestal of some kind that is halfway through being cleaned.
Hmm. I want to look to the collector. Um, where did this thing come from? Looks like a some kind of pedestal or something.
Of Canical, actually.
Interesting. Like what kind of ruins do you think it came from?
Oh, that was found near one of its many rivers. Um, it was fascinating in that it didn't seem to suffer the same amount of water damage as a variety of other things, and the carvings on it did not match the anthropological patterns of Canagal and its history. So I decided to take it with me to do a little bit of clean up and research on it. I haven't found much yet, but it was in what seemed to be some sort of ritualistic cave space.
Interesting. Because I'm having trouble kind of picking up on kind of well with the thing about artifacts and stuff like this is that there's always like a little bit of like latent energies and stuff that you can kind of pick up on, and I'm not detecting anything from this, but you make it sound like it was unique in the fact that it kind of didn't belong almost.
Um, yes, to an extent. Uh, Energies?
Well, I don't know if it's just kind of I like just every once in a while I can just kind of like sense that things are, even if I don't understand what's magical about it, like I can usually at least like tell that there's like magic or something. I don't really know how to describe it.
Hmm, fascinating.
But I'm not sensing anything from here. It's almost has like nothing, almost like nothing's coming back from it.
Yeah. Which, from your experience, even mundane items, you will be able to tell
Mm-hmm.
generally kind of something about them. It's not going to always be a lot of details, but you can, like, scan, say, a wooden box, and if the inside of it is completely mundane apples, it's a box filled with apples. This is like a blank spot in your scan ability. You weren't able to, if you tried, get much scan off on the items upstairs in the artifact room. So it's sort of like there's a barrier between you and it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Here, I believe this is one of the symbols that was used by the cult, and he takes a case down and hands it to you in addition to the book that he handed you, Val.
He hands me the.
He hands Bal that because Bal had
Okay.
asked for artifacts in
Okay.
relation to the cult. But yeah, if you want to peruse through the book, you can do a research check. Um, if you guys would like to further inspect the items that you are looking at, you can also do further research checks. Or if there is something else that you want to do beyond just inspecting them, you can let me know.
I'll do a research thing on reading this document.
We'll put 2 efforts on a research. You go first, though.
I'm gonna reroll though.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
It is 14, and I'm gonna put 1 level of effort from
Nice.
Okay.
my thing.
And then we've got 2 levels of effort from Alina for Kale doing further research on the, I'm guessing, section of wall from the Sky Kingdom.
Yeah, or a nearby artifact.
Okay.
I got a 12.
Okay. And Varen, are you doing something beyond just researching / inspecting the pedestal?
I definitely want to do more research on the pedestal, but we also had a hindered archivist redeem.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
Ew.
Now.
Aknith, who are you hindering?
Chaos.
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 I think it's a roll to see who's
Yeah.
hindered.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah,
Roll a D6.
everybody roll. The lowest roll is the one who's hindered.
So it's me. I get it.
Well, it all causes chaos, Aknith. That doesn't help much.
Natural
9.
1.
Natural
no.
1.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's
I
you
got
then.
a
Sorry.
9. Yeah, sorry.
Yep. All right, so the person reading the book on the ancient cult is hindered by 1, and you had rolled. You said, what was that? An 11, a 9?
No, I think it was a 14.
14 with a level of effort, and then the
So
11 I think was from Kale.
I had a 9.
9. Okay. I don't know
2
why
effort.
I've got 11 somewhere in my head. All right, so we've got hindered 14, 2 assets to it. 1 asset to it. 2 assets to Kale, who rolled a 9. And then what do we have from Farron?
So, as this is an intellect thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so from my edge, I'm going to put together a free level of effort on that. And then I'll just put in some additional effort from my pool, and I rolled a 9.
Okay.
Hey, love some 9s.
So, generally, I'll start with Kale. Because what is around you is predominantly non-magical artifacts. You get the impression that this section of wall that you are looking at, when cleaned off well, it will be beautiful and is potentially able to transmit energy. It is inert in and of itself. But you also vaguely remember from that dream, and possibly from historical memory, you're not sure, that the reason why the Sky Kingdom fell was the lack of magic to support it. So whatever this wall is, it's not made of whatever material kept it up.
Excellent. I will jot down some notes and kind of leave them with the artifact.
Yeah. But in addition to that, it's just the artifact itself and the pieces around it are mundane enough to where it's just not going to get you much.
But T'Pol's still useful, loves information, so I'll
Yeah.
just note down whatever I remember.
So the 14 plus 1 minus 1 on difficulty, because you had one asset to it, Val, uh, brings it to 14 as your even roll. You get the impression from the book that you'd be able to read it for a longer period of time and gain more information, because it is thick enough to where it's not just like this is a pamphlet overview of the information. It's an actual book that you would have to pass through and read, so it will take more than a couple of minutes of skimming. That there was some sort of cult having to do with who they perceived to be a god or an ascending god of creation. And it did, as he said, seem to originate somewhere near Venia. That most likely it was following some sort of older tradition that they were attempting to find the originator of. Varen, you said how much?
9 with 2 levels.
9 with 2 levels of asset. Um, the symbolism on the pedestal that you slowly start to uncover by kind of brushing away some of the caked on debris that is on it, and some of the strange calcifications, etc., and looking at it, something about it is almost familiar to you, but not in a way that you know why it's familiar. Um, Potentially someone else in the group might have also seen something similar to it, maybe, but it's like a word at the tip of your tongue that you can't quite remember what it is.
Mm-hmm.
There's something familiar about it, despite the fact that you're pretty sure you don't understand what the symbolism around the strange patterns on it are. It's maybe 2 feet tall, a pedestal meant to hold something up or display something, but not tall enough to be a table all on its own. So either it might have held up a statue, or it might have held up something else, or it might be something that goes onto an altar that further does things. You're not sure. Um, but there's something about the symbolism carved into it that is just familiar enough to trigger interest without you knowing what it really is.
So I feel like knowing that, I'm definitely gonna ask for some paper and try to do my best to write down, kind of sketch out what I'm seeing, just to have a reference for it.
Okay. So, in addition to that, which probably took you guys a good 30-ish minutes to an hour to skim through the book and inspect the things very carefully. You also have the case of some sort of emblem or symbol that the cult had supposedly utilized, Bao. But yeah, you've got either more time to spend on the things, or more area to research in, whatever you guys want to do.
I'm gonna Bal is going to sit down and read
Mm-hmm.
out of because it is a little bit they're stepping into a little bit of unknown territory, both with their powers and what they're attempting to do. And I want to make sure that if they're going to call some spirit here, it's not just gonna cause some fucking bullshit to go sideways. But before she sits down with the book to read, what was this individual's name again?
The researcher that you're with,
Yes,
Tapalpilco.
the pal. That's right. Ah, I am going to pass the the pistol to him
Hmm.
because I have materials to potentially build more bullets,
Hmm.
but I do not currently have the means to do it, and he knows more about magical artifacts than I do.
So you're gonna see if you can use your question to help you figure out how to use the
Yes.
materials to make the bullets. Okay.
This is my question is how can he help me learn how to do this?
Okay. So while you are continuing to read and try to learn about this cult and what was known about them, he will spend his time inspecting that and trying to factor in whatever information he happens to know to aid you in your future ammunitions crafting. Anything else from the others?
Varen, do you call for help or are you just kind of back at your own? What are you looking into?
Um, yeah, what, I might call I'll call Kale over to what I'm looking
Yeah,
at.
I think
Yeah.
Kale kind of drifted away from whatever they were looking at. Now they've just been like wandering aimlessly looking at
Hmm.
other stuff, but nothing has caught their eye. So they'll
Okay.
wander back over to where you are.
All right.
Hmm.
Yes, what is it?
Yeah. Well, I was just curious. Does this any of this look familiar to you? When I point out like the symbols and kind of what I'm sketching, I'm like, I feel like I've seen it before, but I can't really recall. Like you know when something's like familiar, but you don't, but it's almost like a memory that you can't remember it, and it's like
Oh,
on the
I
tip of
know
your
that
tongue.
feeling very well.
Yeah. So like, have you ever seen anything like this before?
Make a
What
roll.
am I rolling? All right. I will put some effort on
Yeah.
this. Let's put 2 effort, and I am trained.
Now, this is kind of a memory slash history type of thing.
Okay, cool. I am going to use a reroll. That
Okay.
was 2. That's much better. That's a 16.
It looks familiar in that same way as Varen was describing. And then you get a strange feeling of homesickness.
Aw.
It almost looks like underneath the whatever coating is on top of all of the reliefs and everything on the pedestal is covering copper, actually.
Really?
And while the symbols initially almost look like the swirls of clouds that are common to the sky kingdoms, um, they instead begin to resolve into maybe steam and leaf fronds.
Huh.
The
So Kale
corners almost look like claws holding up the top.
Kale will like look at it and then like kneel down and really, really like get their face close to it as they're examining it. Does it look like it's paint over the copper?
It looks kind of like a crusty, textured enamel, almost.
Huh. Can I pick away at a corner of it with a claw?
Are you doing so stealthily, since you are
Yes. Yeah.
peeling off the coating of one of his artifacts? Go
Yep.
ahead and give me a stealth roll.
Gonna do it. I am good at that. I am trained.
I was about to say, can
14.
I provide help? Because I'm trained in stealth.
Yes, you can also provide an asset
Yes.
with help.
Yes.
I'm not trying to peel a giant piece, just like a little fleck off a corner.
Okay. So what was your roll?
14,
14.
and I'm trained.
You are trained and you have an asset from help. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
without difficulty, you manage to hide what you are doing just by like positioning your body in a way that it blocks him from seeing what you're doing while he is also
Yeah.
working on something.
Yeah. Kale mutters like, "Someone's painted over this," and then we'll kind of like
Yeah.
look at Varen for help.
It is indeed some sort of strange textured enamel, perhaps, over copper. It is some sort of copper pedestal. The bits that you chip off don't reveal more because it was just textured paint essentially over existing carvings. So it didn't fill anything in and hide anything. Um, but sort of like enamel signs don't really hide anything. It still shows the same texture. It's just thick coating over it like a skin. But yeah, it's familiar. It's like with that roll, it's almost like you're looking at a giant doorstop.
Interesting. Huh. Well, I can't tell you where it's from, Varen, but I know it's familiar. And it was all copper once, I think. Someone's painted it, but there's vines here.
Hmm. You don't think that's like the vines that like we fought that one time, do you?
Well, Varen, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Ooh, perception. Not 20.
Damn!
Oh,
Um, you look at Kale kind of crouched there, and you're looking at Kale, past Kale at the item, and the claws and the swirls are almost like the like the decorative parts around Pico while he is in copper kettle form,
right.
which is why it
Mm,
was very
kind of
familiar
what
to
I
you.
thought. That's why I was kind of thinking it was
Yeah.
interesting.
And he had specifically said that it was found near one of the many large rivers in Canagal.
Ah, of course.
So I say to I lean over to Kale and say, Topal was saying he found this near Canagal, and the more I think about it, and I kind of do you have Pico with you in kettle form?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and I
The
just kind of
Fates
look
ruined it,
back
help.
and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look back and forth, and I was like, kind of looks like it's same thing that Pico is.
Really. Kale will like unhook the teapot from their belt and hold it up beside the pedestal and be like, "Oh, oh no, yes, you're right. Well, I had had my suspicions about where the grove is, but now I think this is confirming them."
He said he found it in near the river in Canagal, so I think we perhaps have a lead for that.
Yes, yes, very much. Hmm. You said it has no, I don't know, no feeling from it?
Well, yeah, because normally, like when I can sense things, it's like even if it's like not magical, I can usually tell it's like, if a barrel's like full of wheat or ale or something like that. But this is just kind of nothing.
There was supposed to be something on top, I think, or it was stopping the door, or I I don't know.
Mm. So that means there's obviously means there's more out there somewhere, or
I mean, I could wake Pico. I was going to introduce him to Pal anyway, but maybe.
Well, Varen, you did roll a nat 20.
Hmm.
What does a pedestal do?
What does the pedestal do?
Not the pedestal, a pedestal in general. What is a pedestal meant for?
Usually displays something.
What do you have to display on it at the moment?
A teapot.
I was about to say, look, I look and I was like, what happens if we put Pico on top? Like the teapot.
Oh, do you think he'll be all right?
Um, well, well, the worst that could happen is we get yelled at and kicked out, and then we lose an ally. But it's worth a shot.
Hmm. All right. I'll I'll touch it first myself just to make sure there's no like traps or anything. It's not gonna disappear Pico.
No reaction.
All right. Give it another poke, a little harder. And then I'll hold Pico over where the central sort of display area would be and very slowly lower him. Just to see if like stuff lights up or what happens.
As you set him down?
Yeah.
Okay. As you set him down, the carvings in the relief all around the pedestal do light up. And you specifically get almost this fresh breeze and scent of a wet forest and tea, like like fresh tea leaves, not the kind that have been
Ooh.
dried and prepared, and fruit, and the type of ozone just before a storm. But
Mm.
there's nothing nearby to open, as if it were a doorstop to open a door.
Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. Uh, so Kale puts Pico down on the pedestal, but like keeps their hand on his back. And then as the spell hits them, they look up, just like blankly out at nothing. And like a little smile kind of quirks their lips, and tears like just stream down their cheeks. As I'm sure this wakes like a homesickness for a place that they've never known in this life.
Varen is immediately concerned. He's like, "Oh no, is it hurting? Do you want to like like you shouldn't be touching it if it." Well, I don't know what expression that is you have on your face. Is it hurting? Is that good? Is that bad?
No, no, it's good. I'm, huh.
You also, with the trigger to open the door, sense three other presences,
Ooh.
distant and far reaching, but it almost is like somewhere far, far away, three other heads pop up in awareness and look in your direction.
I think Kale's gonna close their eyes and try to like reach out back to them.
There's no real sense of words, just
Yeah.
awareness of others, indeed like you, that have sensed that somehow um, an opening could have been created simply because there is no opening nearby. It found another connection.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, Kale's just gonna try and hold on to that connection for a minute and like wordlessly say like, "Oh, hello, hello." but out loud with their eyes still closed and still crying. They'll staring towards wherever the feeling of the presences is, and they go, "Oh, I'm not alone. Varen, I'm not alone."
Well, yeah, I'm right here. You mean she kind of doesn't quite understand what's going on yet, so
Neither does Kale.
yeah, and she doesn't even understand about the whole dragon thing even.
Yeah.
So she doesn't understand the connection. So she's very much like, yeah, no, I'm right here. You're not alone.
And then I will, if I can still sort of feel them out there, just try and send out like, where are you? Where can I find you?
There is not enough of a connection for you to express communication. You can
Yeah.
tell the direction that they are in and that their attention is in your direction as well as the one who had tried to open the door.
Right.
The direction being predominantly north and northwest for all three of them.
That tracks with the map. Yep.
Because you are very south right now.
Yep. South and east.
Yep. So, luckily, none of them are, as far as you can tell, in the forest.
Good. Cool.
In
Cool.
that
Cool.
place.
Cool. 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 That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think after that,
Yeah.
once the connection's kind of fading, Kale will eventually take Pico off, kind of cradle him in their arms, and just sink down to the floor.
Yep. And I think that's actually a good spot for us to take a mid-session break. Because Bal is still reading and gaining information, which I will provide the summary of what you find out when we get back. But yeah, so you have found a piece to at least a personal puzzle. But we'll be back shortly. See you guys in a few minutes. returned from break. Let's go ahead and just jump right back in. Before we left on break, the other two had been inspecting a pedestal that Varen found that responds with an absolute blank fucking nothing to the scan ability, and found
Fascinating.
out that it is somehow related to the grove of the dragons that are guardians of nature that Kale is connected to. In the meantime, Bal has been off in a different area of the room, reading through the historical kind of reports that had been handed over to her about this strange cult like following that had existed out in Venia, one of the other territories of the Trutinus Reach Peninsula, um, centered around some sort of not quite ascension godling thing of creation. Um, we'll say that all of the inspection and discussion, etc., has constituted maybe an hour ish past the initial research that you guys had done. Um, in that time, Bal, you would have been able to kind of speed read through a good portion of the book, though not all of it, and it would kind of be directing you further in and getting you some general ideas. The cult itself wasn't necessarily viewed as particularly dangerous, just kind of outliers in that they had this strange belief in something that was not one of the recognized deific powers, which there are several, but they were outliers and stood out simply because of that. Um, in regards to how they found the worship, you're not sure, or where it originated. Again, you're not precisely sure. Just that somehow, and part of that is also that whoever was writing the reports on the peoples of the area also didn't know how this cult came to be. Um, but they do seem to be following after some pre recognized, not quite deity of creation that they found somewhere, because all of the rumors and all of their claims had been that they did not try to boost this person or this creature themselves, but rather that it had been created and existed prior to them. In terms of if that person, thing, whatever, was native to Venia, unknown, mostly because whoever was writing the book seems to believe that the would be god didn't actually exist. It's like reading a historian going, yeah, there was this weird cult that followed a demigod that probably didn't actually exist, but they said that it existed long before them and would exist long after. So they're kind of weird. They're seemingly harmless, but they're just kind of weird and they follow these practices. That's the general vibe that you get from whoever wrote the book.
Okay. So this book doesn't really belong to somebody from the cult. It belongs to somebody documenting the cult.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, then I think I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to call forth this individual, if possible.
The researcher, or you're going to use the artifact that's in the box?
Oh, there's an artifact. That's right. Um, I'll call the researcher first.
Okay. So what specific ability are you using? And uh, yeah, just initially, what specific ability are you using?
Question the spirits.
Okay. Can you do a readout of what that fully is?
You can call a spirit to you and petition it to answer a few questions. You should only know more than three before the spirit fades. First, you must summon a spirit. If it is the spirit of the dead, you must have personally known the creature, have an object that was owned by the creature, or touch the physical remains of the creature. For
Okay.
other spirits, you must.
Yeah, owned by the creature. That's covered. You're good. So what are you doing to summon the creature?
Uh, I'm gonna clear out some space, maybe on like a desk or the floor or something.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I assume this individual has some writing utensils.
Yeah, T'Pol has a variety of writing utensils, some blank journal pages that are able to be notes, a number of chairs that can be sat in, and many tables.
Okay. I'm gonna clear out a table. And then I'm going to Val is not very uh good at the whole uh mobility thing, but she's going to draw a very uh rudimentary she's gonna use some drawing materials to draw the spiral um onto the table, and she's going to put the book in the middle of it. She's trying to make a big show of it. She doesn't know if any of this is necessary, but she's being she's being watched.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then she's gonna close her eyes and put her tentacle on the page and attempt to
Mm-hmm.
call forth the spirit of the guy who wrote this book.
Okay. So as you reach out and set your tentacle on top of it, having used some chalk or a pencil of some kind to draw out the Fibonacci spiral that is the symbol of Perdoja, um, you concentrate and you focus, and it takes longer than you had fully expected simply because of how long dead this person excuse me, this person is. Um, like the book itself is old, and like this is written in a language that is no longer used. This is like someone writing in Old English, or even possibly before that. Um, so you're focusing, and it takes that moment and then pulls almost the breath from you as you hear a slight whoosh of the melody that you are very familiar with,
Hmm.
that almost spirals along the Fibonacci spiral that you've drawn. And slowly, as if reaching up out of the book and then stepping forth, is the figure of a seemingly androgynous older individual, very, very, very see through, like barely tethered to this plane. Um, their features are hard to make out, but there. Shorter hair, layers of coats and clothing, um, and they kind of squint and look around a little bit before their attention drifts to you.
Out of character. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna ask this guy.
All right. Well, let's go ahead
I
and
have
also
questions
make
too.
a social interaction roll, since
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
have summoned a spirit that you are not familiar with, and thus need to get it to even agree to talk to you.
uh 14 plus a level of effort.
Okay,
from my.
pretty good.
I also technically trained in pleasant social interactions, but I don't know if this is technically considered social pleasant since he is dead.
Yeah.
Uh, so in so okay, before anything else, I am going to be communicating with this individual in his language.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, and I'm going. I think uh, I'm gonna introduce myself. I want to go. Hello. I'm Miss Forge. I believe I am from your future.
Uh, oi, what's up? Then, hi.
Hello. We
Um,
are interested in your research into
uh,
the cult of the blah 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 blah. Um, what can you tell us about it?
the spirit looks briefly confused for a moment, like it's still trying to gather its wits and semblance from so long in the past. And you very easily notice that whatever Tapal had been doing with your gun to inspect it, he has stopped and is now staring because when you summon a spirit, it is visible.
Yeah.
uh, yeah, uh, strange group that. I yeah, strange group. What do you need to know?
One moment, and I turn and I'm gonna grab our map because we have a map of the region, right?
Of the peninsula?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And then I'm gonna held it up to or I'll put it down. Actually, I have tables. I'll put it down, and I go. Would you be? I would like you to maybe point on this map where this cult congregated.
I oh, section I knew. About here, and is pointing to a the river fork that is in Venia, a little east of Isenbridge. Are you actually looking at the map as well?
Yes.
No.
Sorry, I don't. Oh,
Yeah.
no, no, no. Is it pinned? Please tell me it's pinned.
It is pinned in the images
In
and notes.
images.
Okay.
I've already pulled it up once today.
Okay. I'm gonna make a little mark on our map, at that in that
Wherever
spot.
it is.
Okay. So the river fork that they are pointing at is the small river fork and not the massive river that is the top of Venia.
Right.
Uh, yeah, uh, some a bit north, reached up a little bit here, some influence, not much. I think they might have spread out into Carthage, some possibly down to Poli, but stayed away from the Magic Academy, yeah?
Okay. Um, are you? It's a little bit of a different question, or topic. Are you aware of anything that might be going on in the forests over in this region? And I gesture broadly to our objective place, destiny
Oh, a haunted
place.
forest.
Yes.
Oh, I know. Island has got some soldiers down there, but I ain't heard much about it. No.
I turn to our new ally and I go, do you happen to have any questions for our ghost friend?
I um, you summoned a ghost. Ah,
Mhm.
okay. Phew. Oh,
Oh,
there's so many things.
I'll relay.
There's
Oh,
so many things. Oh,
well,
no, I can. There's a little bit that I can understand. That you're very fluent. Um, I got a little. The accent is very strange. Oh dear. Ah, ghost. Um, okay. Subject at hand. Subject at hand. Subject at hand. Um, were there any pilgrimages or practices of this cult that you're interested in? That as those might be relevant, the practices of people's generally leads to further clues that we could look into. Well, oh, there's a ghost. Okay, fascinating.
I'll. I guess I'll turn to the ghost, uh, a- and then ask him that question, and just sort of inquire on their traditions of this cult.
Yeah. It takes a longer moment for answer. Um, the connection is a little weak, essentially, and the ghost almost goes invisible for a good couple of seconds before it fades back in. Um, I. Oh, not much, I don't think. They prayed to him, same way cults pray to the things that they worship. Um, it's weird that there wasn't like a figurehead, really. Um, that normally a cult has like a figurehead that they're trying to raise, but no one ever saw or knew the god of creation that they worship. Um, there was talks of going down to, I think, the Karthok. That's why I thought they might have summon Karthok. But I don't think I ever knew them to travel further than that. I don't know. They're mostly stuck to up here in the kind of Venia region. Once or twice tried to cross the mountains over into Canago, but Canago has the weird practices on its own. Eh?
Hmm. All right. Well, one last question. What is your name?
You have three questions, right?
Technically, yes. It says typically no more than 3 questions.
Yeah.
Or usually no more than 3 questions before the spirit fades.
Just a second. Let me pull up my name list.
Our
I
good
just
DM has a name list.
me
A
as
million names.
a player, I don't like not knowing NPC names.
Yeah. Damn you. That's okay.
Did you ever get the name of the god?
Nope.
Nope.
Didn't ask
Cool.
that.
Cool.
No,
What's
love
your
that.
name?
That we just are like, so mysterious cult with God, but we don't know God's name. That's great.
Well, we know the researcher's name.
Yeah.
Lacey, Soraya? Lacey Soraya? I don't know why it keeps saying Lacey, it's Lee C.
All right. Um, you may rest again.
Uh, I will. And the spirit just fades.
I turn around with just a shit-eating grin, like, yeah, I did it, and I relate all the information to everybody in the trade tongue.
Kale's is just kind of like now standing up and wiping their tears, and they're like, What's that? Did you summon a ghost? Oh, good.
Yep. Someone called Lacey Soraya.
Did you find out anything useful?
Yeah, well, sort of. We might be looking at the wrong thing. The cult is over northwest, not really
Hmm.
east of here.
Not as far northwest as Isenbridge, surely.
About, yeah, actually.
Really?
Mentioned the cult was attempting to cross the mountains into Isenbridge. They also mentioned potential attempts at spreading the cult into Canago.
Ah. Speaking of, we found an artifact from Canagal. It's where you said this was from, yes, Tapal? Let's point to the pedestal.
Uh, uh, yeah. That was a ghost.
Yes,
Yes,
there's quite a few of them. Not here, but around.
it's frightening. But yes, I found this in, at the head of one of the rivers. They have so many rivers there. Wanders over to the map that Bell conveniently has out and points to the river head that he's mentioning. Um,
Nice.
in what seems to be one of the cave ritual sites that had been there.
Right. We'll mark that on the map.
I will
Well,
probably have to actually dot on the map where that is because there's so much
Too
river
many.
space in
Yeah.
Cannibal. It is swampland.
I think Kale will, after sort of marking that down, will then put an arm around Bal and be like, well, should we survive the haunted forest, which of course is very much up for question, I do think we need to go towards Canagal.
The captions say we need to go towards Canada.
We need to go to Canada. See,
We do
Kale
need
is
to
from
go to
Canada.
Right. Uh, did he mention? Did I hear correctly that he said that Islanders had people in the forest we're going to?
Uh, he or they mentioned that there were Islandist soldiers
Right.
uh, down in that direction, but not specifically in the forest. That Islandist had sent soldiers down that way.
I'm gonna relay that information as well.
Yeah, I think we knew something like that before.
I
That
can't.
in like previous ages they'd been wary of the barrier. Right, that would make sense, I suppose. There
Hmm,
was like great battle there, as far as we know,
right.
but we still don't know why. What was concerning them enough to send whole battalions out to the edge of the wilderness? I have some guesses. Oh, Tapal, did we tell you about the bubbles of space that are randomly appearing?
Uh, yes. There's we had some speculation last night. Um,
Yes.
was I too drunk for that? I don't remember. But there's some speculation about the breaching of power, if power exists there, to spread that reach further, or if those circles are not from there, perhaps just a strange side effect of magic.
Very concerning. But I suppose we were going to go and see what's causing it anyway, so no reason to be more alarmed than usual.
Oh, there's many reasons to be alarmed, though it does seem to be usual for all of you.
Well, the world is going to get a lot stranger. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Um,
I want to go check this pedestal.
you're going to try and do what with the pedestal?
First, I'm gonna look at it.
Okay. It is maybe 2 feet high, 3-ish feet wide, 1 foot deep, um, rectangular, angled slightly, variety of swirling carvings or decal type things all
Mhm.
along it, with long
No,
spikes that lead up on each of the corners. Um,
no, like carved like words carved into it or anything.
no words. It seems to have a variety of bits of calcification on it, and like almost like a hardened, petrified root attached to one side that hasn't been chipped off yet, and at least one small section has the enamel that had coated it chipped away, showing copper underneath.
I want to touch it.
It's kind of cold.
Hmm. Right.
Kels will come over and be like, it doesn't respond to touch like the touch panels. It's sort of made to work with nod towards Pico.
Oh, this is like your people stuff.
I think so.
All right.
Ball, Ball, and I'll grab you by the shoulders. Ball, I'm not alone. There are others awake.
Do you know where?
Uh, Vaguely, northwest of here, which is most of the Isles. So, somewhere, but they're awake.
Are they all? Sorry, are they all together?
I don't know. But if I can find them, that's enough of us to wake the forest.
Oh, how do you know? Did this thing tell you?
No, but I know from what Pico has said, it's going to take, well, just awakening my forest nearly killed me, so I wouldn't presume to awaken the grove on my own. But if there's more than one of us,
Oh, I meant there look like there are others. How
yes.
how how did you come to know this?
Oh, that I put Pico on the pedestal and I don't know, resonated. And then they felt me trying to open a door or I don't know. But they saw me, sort of. They felt me, I think is probably easier to say. They felt that I was here.
Is it possible to figure out which direction they are?
Nothing particularly. Well, I suppose we could wake Pico and ask him, but he might know, well, remember more about this technology than I would. I know very little about any of it, but what I can feel, and that's
Because
very hit or miss.
we've got a map and we've got a compass. If you can get us a general direction, we could, at the very
Oh,
least, narrow down the research.
yes, yes, yes. Right. I was going to introduce him to Paul anyway, so uh Paul, would you mind coming here for a moment?
Um, just one moment. I think I've almost got this here. And he's doing something bent over the table again.
I want to go over.
With the gun?
Yep, this and um. Oh, you're back.
Hmm.
It would appear that these seem to be the powder that was in one of these that you had handed off, because I'm assuming that you handed a couple of the ammo packs over with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, it contains. I'm not quite sure. I'm not able to study it precisely, but looking close, you can see that there are a variety of colors within the powder itself, and I would say it's somewhere between 5 and 10% this strange blue grit. Um, the rest of it, as far as I can tell, seems to be a couple of odd alchemical compounds that should be able to be found either in a number of shops or perhaps located in the wild yourself. I can uh, find you a book on that. Um, the sphere itself, uh, while it probably functions in combination with whatever is in this powder, um, looks to be mostly strange. It resembles something like the crystal that connects the panels, actually, but it's not quite the same material. It's darker, if um, just a moment, sets down the entirety of the little bullet pack that he had been investigating and goes over to one of the boxes and goes rifling around in it and brings back what seems to be a very deteriorated set of wires and like almost like it's very fractured small crystal. The one that he's holding, that is damaged and connected to the wires almost as if the wires have been fused into it, is this kind of off bluish green. And then the one that had been in the bullet, like the little paper bullet pack, is much darker, almost like a smoky gray black blue. Um, it's entirely possible that the function of your uh, piece, which is fascinating to begin with, requires both, but it may simply be that it's synergistic as opposed to necessary. That perhaps it is more effective with this, and he holds up the crystal, uh, and this, and he holds up the powder, together, but still one or the other might work.
I see.
Without knowing what precisely they are, which they aren't something specifically that I have encountered,
Hmm.
I would not be able to say. But, and then he turns over your firearm. This, at the end, that seems to function as a lever back and forth, is definitely the same as this, and he holds up the shattered or like broken crystal that he had taken out with the wires. The kind of off green blue one resembles very closely the small crystal thing that takes the plate or place of the flint striker at the back of the gun.
So if I could provide you with other pieces of this weapon, you think you could figure it out?
Again, potentially, but what exactly does it do?
In simple terms, it's sort of like an arcane crossbow.
Hmm.
You point, you pull the trigger, and it fires a projectile.
And I'm to presume, and he holds up the little bullet pieces, or the pack pieces, that this is the projectile?
Um, yes, I believe so. Well, no, Val has used this before.
Yeah,
She would know.
yeah.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is sort of similar mechanics to like a musket, right? You pack,
Yeah.
then you add the pellet, and then
Well, instead of having to pack the pieces separately, because uh, packing a flintlock or a musket or similar items, you put the different parts in one at a time. That's why they had like the little pouches of the black powder that they poured in, and then they added a cotton swab to hold it in place, and then they added the firearm. That's essentially what the little packet is. That's just all bound together so that you can drop it in.
I explained that to him.
Yeah. Um, so something about what this gun does, which the movement of this lever here seems to be connected to the trigger mechanism here. Uh, Something about that action activates it, and it moves this projectile pouch. Fascinating. Uh, well, if you wouldn't mind sacrificing one of your pieces, we could experiment.
Hold on. Um, I am going to produce the gun parts that I found.
He's asking you to sacrifice one of your bullet packs.
Oh, how many do I have left? Hold on. I got four. Yeah, that's fine.
So,
Especially since this is potentially going to help me make more down the line. So
yeah. So, you seem like an agile young woman.
You could say I move like a cat sometimes, yeah.
Throwback. Uh, so, uh, in that case, let's move this to over here. And he goes to one of the empty tables and sets out a metal dish and pours like half of the powder from the pack that you are sacrificing, the little bullet pack that you're sacrificing, onto there. So, we need to affix this, and he takes the somewhat broken crystal to something long and not attached to our body. And you, as the more agile individual, will strike the powder on there to see if it's contact between the lever crystal on your item and the powder, or the combination of both the bullet crystal and or the projectile crystal and the lever crystal in combination with the powder. Because the experiment is really to see which pieces are necessary for the function.
You just want me to touch them together?
Preferably not with your bare flesh, as it does seem to project things.
Oof. As I remember, those are very painful to get hit by.
All right. Well, that's all. I'm I'm also a little bit hard to hurt. So, hang on. I'm gonna activate my water shield,
Okay.
and I'm just gonna and do the thing.
Okay. So you take the broken crystal and you just touch it down on the powder.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a spark, but not much. Go ahead and give me an intellect check.
Natural 20.
When you use the gun, it strikes hard. You probably need to do something similar to
I,
really test it.
I would suggest you step back.
Oh, he is already well stepped back.
Okay, then I'm just gonna fucking just full force it.
Okay. Uh, Give me just a general kind of. This is reflexes. Give me a speed check.
Okay. Natural 20.
Jeez. Where were these rolls the other night?
I don't know. I get the good rolls one really doesn't matter.
Well, this is definitely helping you. Um,
True.
as it comes down, there is a large blast, and it is not contained within a tube whatsoever. So it's like someone striking a spark to explosive powder.
Yeah.
So there is a large blast that slightly dents and warps the metal plate that it's on. It does not crack, it does not break, because the firearm itself can't do that much damage. Um, and essentially, the uncontained blast does the amount of damage that a bullet would.
That's 2 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
But I have my water shield, which has 2 points of armor.
Yep. So the water shield basically protects you from the sudden blast of strange, almost burning, glowing powder that erupts. You do fully shatter the crystal that had been in your either hand or tentacle.
I use my hand.
Yeah. So it like there's bits of
Cool.
crystal that also go flying.
Just blow off your only hand. That's cool. That's fine. Good,
I turn
good job.
around, kind of. I just picture Bao like covered in soot or dust or whatever.
Well, you have water that is in front of you
Oh
or
yeah,
around you
true.
that is containing the like bits of shrapnel and charcoal and had partially covered your hand in addition to that.
So I'm gonna turn around and I go, So that works.
Uh, Powder. It seems to be the powder. That is quite violent. Uh, where did you find this?
Oh, I stole it from an islandist individual general person. But it's all right.
That
I
does
think we
not
killed
bode
them.
well that they have the means to make these. Ah, okay. So the next experiment, if you believe that you would survive it. Oh, we don't have another crystal. I was going to see if there's a more violent reaction with the projectile crystal added into the mix, but we do not have another one of the connector crystals here with it.
I got
So
some loose pieces. It might be in. We might have one in there.
most of the pieces that came off are like these big.
No, I mean talking about the spare parts.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Hopefully that- I don't know if there's another like flint thing on there.
yeah. You probably have another hammer on in there in the mix.
I'll just come over.
Yeah.
At this point, there's no point in keeping secrets with this individual.
All right, so yeah, you pull out the hammer component from the other pieces.
Look,
I would hope that with that one in significantly better condition, uh, would be able to survive better than the piece that I had provided. So, um, he walks very carefully over to the site that you had blasted. Tries to brush off some of the kind of burn marks on the table around it. Resets up the plate, which is kind of bent and warped, but not like crumpled.
yeah.
Pours the rest of the powder on and sets the small crystal along with it. And once again steps far back with the other two. Proceed.
Water shield.
Yes.
And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it again.
Okay. Give me another reflex check.
12.
12. So as it comes down, you like kind of skid off of the crystal bullet and into the powder with the strike. And there is just as big of an explosion because it was the other half of the powder, which sends the small
Yep.
projectile crystal shooting off into the wall, ricochets off the wall, and cracks one of the ceiling lights. Um, but it was no major discernible difference. So, from the experiment, you're not able to tell if there is a reason that they use this strange other crystal, or if it's just more durable than metal. You're not sure. Nevertheless, he is going, ha.
Sorry.
That's what I get for having us do violent experiments in my research facility. No, I was the one that directed you to do this without setting up any sort of protective barrier. That is my fault. Damn it. But
Do you know what the crystal is? The striker?
not at all. Which is the
Fascinating.
purpose behind the experiment, and thus determining if it is simply needing to figure out how to make this powder, or if it was needing to find a source for both the components of the powder and the projectile sphere itself, which is like he goes over and finds where it has rolled to. Quite durable, and holds it up. It's
Oh, yes.
undamaged.
Fascinating.
Considering
Well, I
that,
imagine
crystals are generally not that durable? Fascinating. Hands it back to you.
I imagine
Me?
Islandus knows what to construct all of these things out of, because it seems like they're making a good many of these machines.
Yes.
Hmm.
Uh,
But it
are
is
you
an
guys
unusual enough color.
are you guys providing any other materials that you have found for his inspection?
We have some
Uh,
blue powder.
I do have 2 bagfuls of blue powder.
He did mention that a portion of the ingredients were indeed strange blue powder or a strange blue grit.
I'm gonna hand them over. I'm also going to mention that I have at least 1 crate of unidentified minerals and roots in the cart. I'm not sure if those work or if they're related or not,
Fascinating.
but we do have those. Also, I this might be incorrect information, so grain of salt it, but I'm fairly certain some of these, or one of these minerals at the very least, it comes from Venadivas.
Hmm.
Oh, also, I do not recommend ingesting the powder.
Oh, I had
I think
not
you should ingest
intended.
the powder at least once.
I had not actually intended to ingest a strange substance that you had provided to me, though I appreciate the warning. Do you make it
Right.
a habit of consuming random unknown substances?
Yes.
Well, it's not like a habit, but it's fine. The quickest way it's to find out what it is.
It's quite
Sometimes you need
fun
to lick
sometimes.
something to see what it does.
Yeah.
Uh, but there is a habit among researchers to lick a stone to determine if it is a fossil, because old bones will stick to your tongue, whereas a rock will not. Uh,
Oh, that's interesting.
but
I've licked walls before. Well, we have.
licked. Well, I'm not going to ask actually. The uh, the other components to this mixture seem to be a combination of particular burned wood or perhaps an herb of some kind and sulfur.
Mm.
So it is entirely possible that these strange dried plants that you have are the whole versions of what had been used as the kind of not quite charcoal that was used.
So do you
Do you
think
have
this?
any mean? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, do you have any means to identify what herbs were used?
I am
Mhm.
not an alchemist myself, so not
Uh,
precisely.
if only we had somebody who could, like, sort of scan things and tell us what they are.
Yeah, that would be really interesting.
Yeah. Pity.
Oh wait.
I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, I guess we'll never know. She says as she activates her scan ability.
Good.
The crystal itself is not identifiable, primarily because you just don't have a frame of reference for it. You're not sure what it is. The powder does seem to be, as far as you can tell, comprised of burned, almost charcoal plant matter, sulfur, and the blue powder drug that you had found. Um, did you also scan the boxes of those unidentified plants?
I don't think I did, if I remember correctly.
I don't think so. I think
No, I
I
don't think I did.
I think I put that stuff away in the cart on my own.
Then, without the object to compare it to, knowing if it's the same, you don't know what those plants are to make the comparison.
Yeah.
So you
I
would be able to theoretically compare it if you were to also scan that box, but you don't have a frame of comparison to be able to be like, yes, that is actually the same, or no, it's probably not.
no, but I will relay what I can scan from it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And for the nerds out there, this is essentially black powder or brown powder with the saltpeter replaced with the blue magical thing.
Magic drugs.
Yeah.
Magic drugs.
Oh,
Also, I have Bobby Joe. If you wanna take a look, since we're here.
Who are you talking to? To Pal?
Yeah,
check out my weird bug.
yeah. Check out my bug.
Um, not so close. It is doing that thing with its pincers
Oh,
again.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Never really stops.
No, I think that's just how I was trying to talk.
so if turn it the other way for a moment, and
Oh,
if you
okay.
are able to, then I would like
Yeah, my handling.
a handling check to determine how well you manage to keep this thing under control.
I don't want to re-roll that. It's a 3.
So it bites you as you're trying to turn it for him,
Ow.
and is like
Ow.
probably 2 points worth of damage to your arm. And I
Ow.
would also like a might defense roll.
Oh yeah, it's got poison now.
Yes, it does.
That's a nat 20.
You're fine.
Amazing.
You're fine. Poison doesn't affect you. You're fine. It
No.
hurts,
Ow.
but
Ow.
yeah, no,
Ow.
you gotta pry its jaws off of you. But while it's distracted, he does inspect the little kind of scales or scutes that are along its body that seem to almost shimmer as he's inspecting it. It looks almost as if it's attempting to shift colors as it moves.
Oh yes. The adults have a sort of camouflage. It's
Fascinating.
very hard to spot.
And you keep attempting to hand this creature off to me, with the theory that it would potentially be able to protect the area. I'm assuming is what you are trying to tell me.
Well, it's kind of an invasive species, and I was trying to figure out exactly, like, if it was possible to make it not an ow, invasive. Ow.
it's, it's quite aggressive. Um, make it not invasive. For a species to not be native and not be invasive, it would have to naturalize. Um, you cannot naturalize a species with only one creature, however, and it has to develop a balance with an ecosystem with which it enters without imbalancing the other parts of the ecosystem with which it enters for it to naturalize. Otherwise, it
Yeah,
is still simply invasive.
yeah. I mean, it kind of has the adults kind of have a habit of eating everything, like everything. Ow.
That doesn't sound quite like it would naturalize. Well, it sounds much more like it would attempt to consume and invade, thus
Yeah.
being invasive.
Yes.
So my suggestion, honestly, would be to either find a way to teach it that you are not food, and then drop it somewhere that you do not mind it treating other creatures like food. Find where it is native to and releasing it there, or putting it out of your misery as you do sound to be in pain.
Yeah, I mean it's not bad because I mean at least like it normally also like poisons and can paralyze you, but this is just kind of like it just biting doesn't hurt that out. It doesn't hurt that much, but
Do you
I
need me
was
to? I can help with that if you wish.
I'm
oh
certainly not
all
going
right.
to attempt to pry it off of you.
Well, I was also maybe hoping that you would have maybe even recognized like where maybe in your research where it came from.
Um,
And as I kind of like turn to like Kale and be like, help.
I'll try and help pry the bug off of you.
uh, not precisely, no. It's not something that's familiar to me. Where did you find it?
In the forest of it was in Polyarna, wasn't it? Like we were, yeah. So we were like going through the forest and kind of came across the mama bug and found this egg and yeah, and it was eating everything and it's kind of like imagine like a spider, but then like imagine it like being like a bunch of spiders, but all in like one, like a centipede, but like a spider.
There was a
Fascinating.
little bit of snake to it too, and also
Yeah,
it was very large.
and also can camouflage itself and turn itself invisible, and also has venom that can like paralyze you.
And you decided to keep one.
Yeah, I mean, like imagine if we
Curiosity
could
knows no
teach it that we
bounds.
were like friends. Like imagine what could happen if we could like
In my defense, I did try to kill him.
Certain individuals' curiosities know no bounds, even if those bounds should be self preservation. Uh,
Yeah.
so, uh, I would prefer to not keep it here with me, uh, due to the safety of my daughter, especially with the description of the Milo,
I thought you'd like
Hello.
that.
Oh, cute.
especially with your description of the adult version of it, and if it was in Pollyanna, um, my speculation would be that it either arrived with one of the displacement circles, or perhaps crept through from somewhere else close by, which, unless there are large, strange, predatory non arachnids, as that is not arachnid due to all of the things, um, it's not from Carthok, most likely. So it's either from the other coast that we don't quite have settleizations there, or from over the mountains in the forests that you are so afraid of.
I had not considered that we might run across more of those creatures in the forest, but I suppose, given that we're facing plants that are highly carnivorous, um, insects that are equally so is not too far out of the question. We'll have to be very well prepared before we go in there.
Yes. Um, I do wish you luck. I ask that if you should visit again, that you not bring it. Um, but yes, my suggestions for handling it would honestly be to either find a way to convince it, through, perhaps you can develop the magic to make an unintelligent creature understand you, that you are not food, or release it back into its own environment, or just dispose of it.
Maybe it will be good at finding others of its kind. Might be
Perhaps.
some sort of early warning for
Yes.
us if another one tries to ambush us.
True. And it is certainly, at least at its current size, still controllable f- to a certain extent.
Kale,
Yes.
do you, by any chance, still have any of those ball juice flasks? No, wall, not ball.
Jeez.
Wall.
I don't believe so, no.
Well, because that helped little Scott gain
Oh,
heightened awareness.
oh yes, yes.
I mean, I'm not sure I wanted this fucking thing to turn into something capable of wielding its power even more. But that is an option. We do know of a method to improve something's cognitive ability.
In limited cases, wall juice is very useful for some things. Sometimes rats.
Yeah.
He's just looking at you both in confusion and then
Yes.
looks at Varen to see if Varen knows what you guys are talking about since she's not contributing. And when he sees the confusion on her face, just looks at the two of you in even further confusion because you're
Oh,
talking about wall juice.
Yes.
sorry. Underneath, somewhere in the underground, beneath Eisenbridge, there is a wall that creates juice, and it's magic juice. We've This is the wall that we licked. A couple,
It's sort of liquid pure magic, I think.
yeah.
Oh, that's
It's highly
almost.
unstable. It's very reactive.
Yes.
What does it taste like?
Magic?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, yeah,
You know that tingling that you sometimes get after you drink like a really spicy alcohol?
sure, yeah.
Or
Off like that.
or the scent of lightning about to strike, but if it was a taste rather than a scent.
Yeah. And also slightly earthy, but that's because we licked the wall.
Well, yes, so there was a bit of algae or moss or something.
Definitely some dirt.
Don't throw things into it or it explodes.
Yeah.
Anyway, wall juice, it does wonders.
Yeah. But if that was back then, I would imagine there's probably other wall juices somewhere else, right?
Oh, I don't know if I even want to suggest this. Um, Varen, when
Yes.
you imbibed the powder at your parents' house, what did it feel like?
Oh, it felt like I could like feel air, if that makes sense.
I'm sorry, do you not normally feel the air?
Well, I mean, not like, well, but it's like you're aware of like you're like, imagine there's like an invisible like force everywhere, and you're just like, oh, not like as she starts going off on this tangent about floating into like some kind of like physical like meta space or something.
That sounds like air to me.
It is highly irresponsible of me to suggest that we experiment on a dangerous
Ah,
magical creature with a dangerous magical drug, so I will not
oh
suggest it
my
at
god, we,
all.
we we should totally feed the blue stuff to Bobby Show and
Oh
see what
no.
happens.
Are we are we actually doing this?
Maybe not inside.
I would appreciate that. Thank you. Please.
All
Do
right,
you
let's
have
not
a
drug a monster.
iron bars or big metal cage, or I don't like cages actually.
I can already
Restraints?
answer that no, I do not. I am in the habit of acquiring, predominantly at least, inanimate objects, not those that need to be contained in such it might be able to fit in one of the cases in the collections room, perhaps. There is not airflow when you close them, though. And I don't know how you would get it to consume this strange powder substance, as you would not be able to reach in.
Well, I know that that normally you're not really supposed to ingest it. You're supposed to snort it, and I ingested it, so it could have been different for me.
I mean, if it's like any other drug that I've had and or been around, as long as it's inside your body, it mostly does its effect.
I endeavour to ask you to please consider this very carefully before attempting to magically drug a small, strange predatory creature.
On the off chance that it might give it intelligence.
Intelligence, make it more powerful, make it explode. It's hard to say.
You think it could explode?
Honestly, with everything that you guys have encountered and the fact that it also seems to be part of the powder that causes your projectiles to shoot and has
Oh,
exploded downstairs in here. Yes, that is a
That would
possibility.
be rather in keeping with us.
To be fair, if it explodes, then we don't have a problem anymore.
If you're willing to clean up after it,
No,
then
that's fair.
yeah.
I was about to say that's a little mean, but that's fair at the same time.
Hi, Ollie. But yes, so with that in mind, careful consideration, please. You were attempting to get my attention prior to something. I was working on the device, and you called for my attention, but I was distracted. I just mostly remember you calling for my attention.
Oh, yes. I was going to introduce you to my teapot.
Oh. Right. Your small dragon friend. Right.
Yes.
Fascinating.
Oh right, yeah.
And we will do that next time.
Next
No.
game.
I wanted to get to drug this spider.
I need Fong to be here.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
for
so
that,
fair,
Decide
yeah.
absolutely.
to drug Bobby Joe.
Absolutely.
Just to see what happens.
Also, I have to miss next game, and it makes perfect sense that you would do that while Kale is like, I'm going to be over here.
This is reminding me of the Z Nation, the zombie show, where one of the characters gets stuck in a air duct next to a zombie, so he starts smoking weed, and it helps the zombie have some capacity to think.
Oh my god.
It's such a
No.
crazy throwaway moment. But the zombie gets mellow, and it's like, yeah. So that's such a weird show.
Crazy.
Anyway.
All right, so I will let us go around and reintroduce ourselves, say who we are, how you can find us, what else we do, and then I will find a streamer to raid into, potentially, for those who are watching on Twitch. Let's start this time with Joel. Or, sorry,
With
Ash.
who?
With Ash.
Oh, messed up.
Sorry.
That's okay. I use both. Hello, I am Ash. I was about misfortune today. I am going into week 2 of summer camp, so I I don't have anything going on at all outside of the Sunday game, and technically the 2 Friday games. I don't know if I'll be here for them, but I'm gonna say them anyway. I on Fridays, one alternating. I think this week is Once Upon a Reflection. I play Senor Fluffington and Juan Ferreira. Right now, it's just Juan Ferreira because Senor Fluffington is a chihuahua that is currently captured by the Sandman. Um, there's no pressure. And I think we just last session we just discovered what the big sort of endpoint is for our group of bad guys.
Bad stuff is going on.
So exciting! That game is so good. And then on the other Friday is Ether Engines, where I will eventually, at some point in the future, play a character. Because I haven't. We're 2 sessions in, and I have not. Oh no, we're 1 session in, right? Because last session did not happen. Um, but even so, we're the campaign is going. I just haven't been able to be there because of work stuff. But I will be playing a moth explorer called La Luz de la Luna, which is Spanish for moonlight. Um, and I'm very excited to play that eventually. But that's all I got going on right now. Eventually, once work stops kicking my butt, I'm gonna I'm gonna probably stream again. But until then, this is all I got. So I'm gonna say go, Amanda.
Oh, hello everyone. My name is Amanda, aka Panda Cabra. I use she, her pronouns, and I was Varen Luck, who also uses she, her, the weird adept, who dances with dark matter, siphons power, and is going to drug like a killer insect next week. Or next 2 week in 2 weeks, because I'm here every other Sunday as part of this game. I totally know the name of this game, Empyrean Wilds. And then also every other Friday, including this upcoming Friday, I am also part of Once Upon a Reflection, where I play Rosa and Thorn, the explorer princess, who has a huge transformation going on, and totally know what that's about.
You got goat
Um,
feet now.
I got goat feet now. I got goat feet, and I got hair growing in places that hasn't been grown there before.
Goat in puberty.
Yeah, I'm going through goat puberty essentially. Other than that, you can usually find me over on Blue Sky at pandacabra.bsky.social, and then I'm always on Discord in some capacity. So feel free to come say hello over there. Other than that, I don't really have much going on because work is also kicking my butt because I am just working all the time. So, Alina, it is your turn.
That's me. I'm Alina. I am they, them. I've been playing Kale, who is also they, them. There are a dragon who helps their friends. But you can catch me on Fridays. Not this Friday, I think. I think I'm away this Friday for this game. But as Sev or Vrak, who is just a mess of a little rock star goblin. They probably have a lot of explaining to do to their band about why they've been missing in Fairy Whiptail Land for a few weeks. No big deal. That's fine. Everything's good. You can catch me every other Friday on that game or over on my channel, which is Where Geek Comics here on Twitch, where we do Trash Heroes, which is a 5e homebrew every other week. We may be on hiatus for a little bit because it is now con season or approaching, therefore. So we will be at a variety of different conventions. I will be at San Diego Comic Con and Gen Con, barring travel disruptions. But you can check out all of my appearances on my website at alinapete.com. Evie.
Hi, I'm Evie, also known as the Disaster GM. My pronouns are she, they, or any. I don't really care. And I am the director of Alter Deco Archives. These three are my beautiful staff, by the way. And I am also our primary GM for our 3 ongoing campaigns. Empyrean Wilds, our fantasy adventure TTRPG. Once Upon a Reflection, our fairy tale adventure. And then Ether Engines, which is our like centuries post-apocalypse like survival adventure. And yeah, like I am blessed with absolutely amazing cast on all 3 of the games, and you never know, we might have another person do like a one shot or a mini series coming up soon, depending on people's availability, etc. But you should tune in. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, whichever platform you happen to be watching on us, click the necessary buttons so that you can be notified when this or any of our other streams happen to go live. Because I don't know a lot of people that are streaming right now, and the couple of other TTRPG streams that I have seen, I was not so sure about some of the art that I was seeing on them. I am going to just raid us over into Foos, who is a friend of the channel and is playing Raven's Watch right now. So sadly not TTRPG content, but yeah, go give Fuzka some love. She did not kill my guest character last night. I am, however, no longer guesting on Fuzka's channel.
Wow,
Cam's
it just took a whole year.
yeah, Cam's
There's a
little
long
guest
living guest
spot.
character.
Yeah, like Cam's little guest spot has ended as of last night. He has run off to not put everybody else at risk by being there because someone very, very deadly, in other words, the entire campaign's BBEG is just like, I am going to come and find you and kill you, and if you are there, they are going to be in the line of fire. So yeah, he ran to save one of them more than the rest of them, but to be the good guy. But yeah, so I am officially done with that particular guest spot, and they introduced their new player and new character last night towards the end of the session, and they've got an amazing crew, and they do some amazing games. They also do video games, which is what they are doing right now. So stick around if you are watching on Twitch, and we will raid over, and we will see you, hopefully, on Friday. Bye!